Hi, welcome to Alla Fedele cooking channel. My name is Fidel. I'm not a chef, but I like to cook a lot of my mom's recipes that are short and sweet, couple ingredients, and when you come home from work that you could pick up on the way home, and you could be eating like in an hour and a half. Tonight we're making pasta Fazool or pasta Fagioli. The slang is pasta Fazool. And basically it's cannellini beans with celery. I use carrots, but my mom didn't use any carrots in it. And it was celery, some chopped plum tomatoes, garlic, oil, and black pepper and grated cheese. So the way I make it a little different than my mom's. I saute the garlic. So she adds the oil and the garlic with everything all in one shot and just cooks it. So I'm going to start with a cup of oil. Now I'm making enough for, I want to say 5-6 people. I'm making two pounds of canned beans. I have 6 cloves of garlic that I'm going to throw in. I'm going to get that sauteing. And then I'll throw in the beans and everything else. Very simple to make. If you want to saute to give it a little bit of garlic and oil flavor, you saute the garlic. If you don't want it, and just a light flavor to the garlic, then what you do is you just add a couple slices and put everything together with the water. So I'm making it with canned beans so that you can pick up on the way home and you can cook right away. The other way is usually how I make it, and that is I pick up dried beans that come a pound in a bag, and what I like to do is the night before I'll put it in a pot like this, 3-quart pot. The beans will probably be here. I fill it 3/4 with water. I let it sit till the following evening when I come home from work. Now the shortcut you can do too is during the day if you're home, is you would put these, a half a bag for 2 people. This is a pound bag, because these like almost triple the size, definitely double the size they become from what they are. Is you would put them in warm hot water from the sink, tap water, and then you would bring it to a boil for 2 minutes, take it off the heat, let it sit for about an hour and a half, and then you can take those and make your pasta Fazool. So now that I have the garlic sauteing, I'm just really bringing out the flavor of the garlic. I'm not going crazy. I'm going to be adding all at once all the ingredients. I have the rind of pecorino Romano. I scraped off the label, which is the back of the cheese, just for flavor, and then I'll take it out later. Same thing with the celery. I'm putting in 2 stalks, so I cut it in 3. I take these out later on because I just don't like it. If you want to eat it, you can just cut them in slices and add it to the sauce, to the fagioli, or Fazool as we call it. So now that the garlic is cooking nice, I'm going to add my beans. I'm going to add my celery. I'm going to add my pieces of cheese. I got 3. And then, again, option. I usually shred my carrots, but I cut it around because my daughter really just wants more of the bean soup than with the pasta, which I'm making with the Ditalini pasta, the little round ones. I'm going to add about 6 ounces of chopped plum tomato. This is from Italy, about half. And then I'm going to put some black pepper. I want to say about a half a tablespoon. And then I'm going to add my water. So, a little grated cheese, maybe 2 teaspoons. And I'll let this go. And oh, I have the stalk of the center of the celery when you buy the whole celery. These are the leaves. I'm going to chop these up. I have about 2 or 3 of the center. So the regular celery I cut up into pieces like that. This is just the leaves, which I'm going to chop up and put in for flavor. Let's see if you can see this down. I'll leave those to the side. Stalks, I put the little pieces of stalk to the side, and then I'll just add this and give it a spin. Come back every 10 minutes. You just give it a spin, and that's it. Put a cover on it. Come back in 45 minutes. It should be almost ready. When it's almost ready, you throw your pasta in. That should take about 10 minutes, and you're eating. When you make it from dried beans, you need about an hour and a half. These are canned beans, and they're a lot softer. So when you see it gets nice and creamy, the sauce, then you know it's ready. So that's what it looks like. I'll put a top on it, cook it for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then when it's almost ready, I'll show you. It gets like real cloudy and creamy, and then I will take off, I will put the Ditalini pasta into the water. Okay, see you in an hour. Okay, this is after about a half hour. You can see it changed color. It's got this orangey, salmony look to it. That's the tomatoes and the carrots. It's gonna need about another 15-20 minutes, but I just wanted to show you what to look for as it's cooking.
It's been how long so far?
About a half hour almost. See, the cheese is starting to get a little melty. That's the rind, the back of the pecorino Romano that I use just for flavor, and I put a good heaping teaspoons of the grated cheese, which will put more on top. Okay, so we will see you in about 15 minutes as we get closer to being ready. This pasta takes about 7 minutes. Now, this is Cala Vita. I mean, I don't get paid for advertising, but here it says Ditalini. I usually use, it's hard to find, but I use the Barella brand, and they make a Ditalini. They didn't have it. It's usually a little smaller than this, which I prefer a smaller Ditalini, and that's the only pasta I would use for pasta Fazool. I'm funny that way with certain pastas to go with certain things, but you can use probably little farfalla. My son-in-law says he's had it with the little, these are for soup I use them, the little farfalla. They look like little bow ties, they're real tiny. Or you could probably use even the miniature shells. I don't have miniature shells, but the real tiny shells that I used for when I showed you the pasta and peas recipe. You can use that too. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so it's ready. This is what it would look like. I'm going to take out the celery now, the celery stalks.
How long has it been on?
I would say 50 minutes. And now I'm going to take the celery stalks as soon as I throw the pasta in. So I'm putting a little under a quarter cup of salt. You want the water to taste like the seawater. I didn't add any salt to the pasta Fazool. There's a pound of Ditalini. Set it for 7. I'm going to take out now all the stalks.
That's the only thing that's coming out?
Yeah, and the cheese, if you can get any of those pieces, if they didn't break, you could take out the big chunks of cheese. And you could eat them too, like that. You can always put them on a plate, your pasta, and eat them if you want. There you go. Here's another piece. I like them. Pretty cheesy. And getting back to the canned beans, I forgot to say that they are cannellini beans. Cannellini. They're the white, little bigger. If you can't find cannellini beans, depending where you live, and you can come across the navy beans, they're a little smaller, rounder, probably a half hour, and the pasta will be ready. These are the little shells, the small shells that I was talking about. If you can't find the Ditalini, they call it Ditalini, then you can use the little shells or the little bow ties that I was talking about. Okay, so I will be back when I'm ready to plate the dish, just to show you what it looks like, in about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, so the pasta took about 11 minutes instead of 7, but with straining, I made a pound of pasta. If you find that you didn't put enough water in your pasta Fazool and you're cooking and you find it you need a little more, before you strain the pasta, take a ladle out and add to it. My family likes it a little more on the soupy side. I grew up being more on the dry side, so everybody's different. Certain parts of Italy, they like it a little drier, which they call pasta asciutta. So I put 2 ladles to a pound of pasta and a ladle of juice and spin it. Get the juices flowing. There's going to be left over because my daughter doesn't want any pasta. So I'm going to just start plating. Everybody likes a big dish of pasta. I mean, who doesn't? So there's enough for another 2 plates, really, in here. So I'm going to put this aside for now. Put the cover on if anybody wants a little more later. My daughter, she just wants no pasta, just the beans, so I'm going to give her just the beans. Little piece of cheese in there that I have to take out. I like that, so I'm going to put it to mine. This is for my editor, photographer, producer, / son-in-law, Brendan. Brendan loves leftover pasta fazool for lunch when he's working. How's that, Brendan?
Perfect.
Good?
Yep.
God bless you. So there we are. We have, now I'm gonna plate my dish a little. I'll let everybody else put the amount of cheese they want. I put a little bit of cheese, some fresh black pepper, and then I have these I grew this summer. What are they, Tabasco ones? Habanero, and then we chopped them in a little chopper and added salt and olive oil. I keep them in a bigger jar, and then I put them in here, just in between, like, because we cover it with oil. When you're done with them, you put a little oil and you put the top back on. And then when we need them, I take from the bigger jar, but they're very hot. So you can also add to your sauce. If everybody likes hot and you have fresh chilies, the red, long red peppers, you can cut one fresh, or these I gotta grind. I didn't grind yet, but I use like hot seeds, like you would put on pizza, the red seeds. That's what these are. I didn't get a chance to do these yet, but that's basically it. I mean, within an hour you're eating. Just get it going, 45 minutes. You start to see how nice it was. It's got that nice color to it. Put the pasta on. It takes about 12 minutes and it's done. Something easy to make when you come home from work. Again, thank you for watching. I'll be putting out more recipes soon. And as my mom would say, mangia figlio mi mangia. Salute.